trying to protect your soul.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, hey, hey.
Must start?
It's on you,
What,
I
Daniel.
can't hear shit.
what do you mean you can't hear?
All right. I am Daniel, aka Ghostface, again, and one of the leaders and co-founders of Lazy Boys. And this is episode 2 of the Lazy Boy podcast.
Number two, my
Hey,
lord, number two.
Well, bump the mic. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Jory, also known as My Zombie. That's my, not Ivy. Thank you very much.
Once again, sorry about that.
Hey, dude, I've gotten used to that since the Xbox 360 days, dude. So
Fair
I'm used
point,
to
fair
it.
point.
But so right now, currently, I am working on theme music and intro music for us and such. So that's me.
All right, I am Noble or Noble Killer. That's what I go by on a lot of different platforms. Just here as I guess joining in on this podcast this first time.
As you guys know me, I'm Simba.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. Simba, aka Skillet, or Skillet Freak,
Yes, welcome.
as well as many platforms. Or you can just call me James, whatever. Don't matter to me. I'm here.
Hey, yo, Jimmy!
Jimmy!
Hey.
Or as a good friend of mine's mom called me one time, Jimmy James Durbin. So that's the whole story we won't get
Hey
into
there,
right
Triple
now.
J, get over here.
Triple J. I don't know. God damn it.
right.
We're already off the rails with this
Well,
podcast.
greetings to all who are watching us for foul up the intro.
Yeah.
So,
This cringy
Yes.
intro.
You
Yes,
know,
I
it
guess so.
happens.
Having technical difficulties again.
Always having technical difficulties. Oh, yeah, words are hard. Always having technical difficulties with this one. I'm telling you, man.
It's number 2, man. What do you expect?
All right.
Dude, it's all research.
So how do you want to start this off?
Like before,
What do we want to talk about first?
Well,
I mean, the only thing really that I
Since you're
know
the one
about would be like
asking.
the Apex thing, the Alpha Beta thing.
Let's start with that since we missed that last run. That was on our
Yeah.
schedule last
talking
run.
point
So let's
list.
start with that.
All right. So what's I know you had an opinion on their Jesus or Ghostface,
On what?
whatever. It's a nickname from work. We used yeah. It's a long story. Anyway, go ahead. You got the floor.
Oh, he's gone.
Okay
Well.
then. Well,
No, I'm still here.
Oh,
What's
camera
going
died on him.
My
More technical
computer's
difficulties?
crashing.
oh
My
crap.
laptop's crashing.
rip.
Yeah, my laptop's crashing. So I probably won't have a video this whole time.
That's fine.
It
It
happens.
sucks.
All right. So let's go. So like, what was your?
God, dude. Anyways, so what's
What was
opinion
on
on
you
what?
about the misconceptions about alphas and betas, the differences and such?
Okay, so the big thing with that is like I played in the alpha for Cold War 2 weeks ago,
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's like yeah, it was only on PlayStation, so I had borrowed a PlayStation. But anyways, there was a lot of issues where people were like screaming and bitching about how terrible the game was, like how they're not gonna spend money on it because they have all these problems they need to fix. And it's an alpha for a reason.
Yep.
You know, it's not a final product. And it's like you can either go into it knowing that it's an alpha and understanding that it's gonna have bugs. You were playtesting. I think at the time it was like a 6-month-old build that half the stuff had already been fixed, and they've announced that already.
Yeah.
You can understand that there's these issues and give legitimate feedback. Never tell them how to do their job because of course they won't listen to that. But if you can say, hey, I found this bug, like slide canceling, which is a big ordeal in Modern Warfare, and the same mechanic is in Cold War.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where if you slide, and jump, you literally will slide and pop up immediately on your screen and be ready to shoot. And on the other person's screen, there's a slight animation where you're still sliding. So you can get like 3 or 4 shots off on the person before they even realize you're standing up.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So if you do it like around a corner or something, you can camera the crap out of the guy and 9 times out of 10 shit on him before he knows what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I can see where that could be
Like,
bad for
stuff
competitive
like
gameplay
that.
for sure.
Yeah, it's like stuff like that has already been fixed. They've already announced it. They already said, "Hey, we were made aware of it. We fixed it." Instead, you get these people who are like, "Oh, this is the final product. I'm gonna go on here and start bitching and telling the developer they suck at their job, and I'm not gonna waste money."
Yeah.
7 Days to
Right.
Die got a lot of that.
Seven
When it
Days to
came
Die
out
is-
and now, dude.
It's still
Wait.
getting that because the company got shut down for a while, and they just now finally picked it back up.
Oh, they
Well,
did.
even then, when it was going
Yeah.
strong, people were dumping on it because it's like, well, this game's buggy, all this crap, blah blah blah. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, it says it's like the first thing you read is it's
It's
an
an alpha. It's still
Yeah.
an alpha,
and,
actually. Slash
you're
beta.
supposed- yeah,
Kinda weird.
you're supposed to expect bugs and updates and such.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
And and to be fair, I think people bitch a lot just because of the fact, everybody's expecting a polished game out of every game that gets launched, whether it be an indie title to AAA. But most developers don't spend as much time on games as they used to. Like back before internet was huge and online gaming was huge. Because back then they couldn't push us an update for the game. They had to make sure the game was fully functioning before they could even launch it. Because if they didn't, then they would have to waste more time with production to stop production for that time being to fix the issue, then relaunch that production again. So nowadays it's just easier. Oh, it's got a little bug here. For instance, it's like I said, 7 Days to Die. Now that game, it is buggy. It's very CPU intensive for PC players. So I know there's different problems like on my side with, when I play, compared to other people having problems, because one, every system's different, especially with PC games. One thing hard to kind of code for is Because usually when you code for Xbox and PlayStation, you've got that set limitation. This is all you got.
Yeah, it's in that same
In that same, unless you're
Yeah.
like a multi-platform game. Well, granted, 7 Days That is a multi-platform game, but it's not.
Yeah.
But it's not like
Because I know,
cross-plat.
I know that on like the console version compared to the PC version, there's stuff on the console version not even or there's stuff on the PC version that's not even on the console version.
Yeah, the
Oh, dude,
updates are
it's
different.
Yeah,
miles
it's due to
ahead.
Yeah.
it's just like
Years ahead.
Minecraft though. It's just because of the
Exactly like
limitations on the
Minecraft.
yeah, it's the limitations on the consoles that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Daisy.
100% true.
Daisy's the same way.
See,
Is
I
it?
never,
I
I
haven't
never,
played that.
I
I haven't
never
played
played
it.
DZ yet, so that's something I'm not too aware of, I guess you could say. But like I said, that's one thing about these games. People expect these 100% polished games when they come out, or even when they release an alpha or beta.
And it's like you're getting the chance to play it so early. Like
Yeah,
you're getting
yeah,
a chance to
exactly.
play it for free, to play it ahead of time, and the reason is to give feedback.
Yeah.
The developer, because they might have a team that does that, but it's a team of 20 people.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go in there and
Right.
purposely try to break their game.
yeah.
Like Battlefield 4 beta, it was just one map, the Siege of Shanghai. I played it religiously because I fell in love with Battlefield,
Yeah.
and that's all that was just one map, just to stress test their servers and all that stuff. With
And
all those,
and
Yeah.
that's a big part of what they're doing, especially for the multiplayer side, because multiplayer anymore in gaming is so huge. They got to make sure everything is up to par with their servers, not let alone the game itself. Is the game
Yeah.
going to be able to hold all the everybody be on at
well,
the same time?
like what Fallout
I personally
76
think that
did
they
with the beta.
Yeah.
I think
Mm.
every developer needs to hire people from the community to play their game, to like actually go in studio and play their game as early as possible. Like the moment they get a working build, I don't care if it's like just polygons for maps. As soon as they get a working build, they should have community members, people who actually know and understand their games, and are gonna go in there and try to break
Like
it day
this.
one. Because that's the
Yeah.
thing, developers don't try to break their games. They play it the way that they feel everybody would play it, and then it gets
Yeah.
released to the public, and you get all these cracked out 16-year-olds
Well,
that are doing
let's-
every mechanic of whatever they can
Let's take
to break their game, and they find all these glitches.
let's take a look at a Halo 2 launch. That game, they spent
Wow, that's
a
long
decent
time
amount of
ago.
time on it. Oh, yeah, but I mean, it's a good reference because they launched the game. Granted, it was still within the multiplayer era, when it just started. But that game's got so many bugs. I mean, there's people people was doing what they call as in our terminology.
BXB, the BXR,
The-
the double shot, the quad shot.
Yeah, or freaking Zanzibar to the freaking top of the map. Just doing that double jump on top of
Halo
people's
CE
shoulders.
had,
Yeah, I mean,
Halo CE had a bunch of them too. You could have unlimited ammo,
I
backpack
know.
reloads,
I know.
double melees.
I trust
Yeah.
me. I play the PC version. I know. I play that online with friends, and I know a lot of the glitches in that game too. But it's just one of those things where, we expect so
I
much
feel
from
like,
these
to be
developers.
honest,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
We expect so much from these developers to have this polished game, and we don't get it. We never get it, and people will constantly bitch about it. It's like at the end of the day, you can't expect it. Because it's almost known that
You could
a game's
you
not
could
going to
go
be
in.
perfect.
You can go in with a mindset knowing the game's not going to be perfect, knowing it is a beta, knowing it is an alpha, knowing it's a test, whatever you want to call it. And you can give them good feedback. You can say, hey,
You're
I
part
done
of the
this,
testing environment.
and this happened.
Yeah.
Oh, I double tap slide and jumped, and it broke a mechanic where I could camera somebody
Well,
and kill him.
Let's use
Okay,
this
well,
for
let's fix
instance.
that.
Okay.
I could manipulate the current critic class system where I could run an extra perk or some crap like that. Because back in COD 4, that was a glitch
Yeah.
where the foregrip on the RPD actually took away your perk 1. Well,
Yeah.
if you select your perk 1 and then highlighted the grip, when the moment the game started, you click X, you could actually have your first perk and the grip on the RPD.
Oh wow, that's some MLG
So
shit
it's-
right there.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's like if you just go in and you understand that, let's give good feedback, let's tell them what we feel is wrong, and let them do their job.
And that's
Because
kind of the way.
9
Like,
times out of 10, if you come in level-headed and you come in with good facts and you show proof, they're gonna fix it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because they don't want their game to suck as much as we don't want their game to suck.
And Siege is kind of like I got a pretty Siege with this one because were you gonna say the same thing?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Look, Siege.
It's a good example of it.
They for the PC version they've got the test server. Before they put the new update out, they put in the test server, and if a bunch of things are not working right, they can do hot fixes on the test server and put them out to the test server, see how they work, and kind of
Hmm.
interact with the actual community of the game that have it.
Yeah,
I
and they
love that, man.
they actually just changed that recently too. Even because before it would be a set number of weeks where it was only on the test server, and just within what was it 9 months ago you'd say Skillet that they put it on for a
Something
little
like that.
longer than that 2 weeks. They actually put it
Yep,
on till
for
they say
3 weeks
well 3 weeks quote unquote, but in essence where they feel like it's ready themselves instead of a set
for
time.
every platform.
Yeah.
And
And
you
see,
know,
go ahead.
game games need tests because if you look at to take it back a couple years, how bad the MCC launch was,
Oh yeah,
how bad that game was. They
Yeah.
didn't have a beta, they didn't have an alpha, they had nothing for it. They literally went to E3, announced it, and then launched it, and that game was horrible, like unplayable for the first year it was out.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that game was a hot garbage mess for the multiplayer side.
And on the other side of things, I feel like we might be a little spoiled now too,
Oh yeah.
I was
Oh
gonna
yeah.
say something
because
about that.
How so?
years ago, like taking Halo 2 for instance, like yeah, it had a couple bugs, but you had to make your game perfect
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
because
mention
back then
that.
updates wasn't
There,
that like you
well, it
might
wasn't just updates. It was just like you don't have any
The
way to
capabilities
test it,
of
capability of
yeah.
testing it or anything besides what you're doing. You have nobody else input like that, so you kind of have to make a perfect
yeah.
quote unquote game to sell to the masses
With a
instead
dev
of
team of like 50
yeah,
compared to now where you can get a dev team of like 10,000,
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a
25,000,
billion dollar
yeah,
dev team
Yeah,
and
yeah,
for free. You just give them out a map, just like the Battlefield 4. You just give
Yeah.
out a free map. Play
Yeah.
it, people. Play it, report
Well,
bugs,
it's like so for
Love it.
yeah,
another
take the
reference.
initiative too. Actually report bugs. Don't just play it to
Yeah,
play it.
yeah,
Exactly.
Report the
absolutely,
bugs
dude.
you
I did
find.
that during 76, but then I got burned out of
Well, like
76.
another reference here, so like going back to Siege again, um, like the last test server that they just put out or update they put out before the update this new season went live. There was actually a huge bug on the new map that they just released too, where if you when you first spawn into a certain room, it was a kill box,
yeah,
and like as soon as you spawn in, you're dead. So
Wow.
that was a bug, but see, and they caught it within a couple of days and had it fixed.
That's
hmm
game breaking.
yeah.
That
It
would be
was,
totally
it
game
was,
breaking.
it
Yeah.
was completely game breaking.
So like that's where I think that's why I personally love the test server side of stuff for certain games because of
Mhm.
that reason. Because you launch a game or launch an update for a game, it could be broken as hell. You don't know it until people start
I
playing
mean,
on it.
look at Modern Warfare. Look at Season 6 for it.
Yeah,
It was crashing
Oh,
PCs and
oh,
everything.
PCs and
yeah,
PlayStations as those the two
Oh
biggest platforms that are
wow.
having problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had it happen to me on PC side because
same.
played it for the first time the other night when it first launched, and my freaking PC the game crashed and said it come up with an error code that said fatal error. I'm thinking,
Yep.
never seen that
Same thing
before.
happened to me. Same thing happened to me actually yesterday. Yesterday about that when I was in Warzone.
Yeah, and
Damn,
not to
dude.
mention the other there's other bugs in the game too that are not quite right. But I mean, that's where, like you said, having some way to actually report the bugs easy
Yeah.
helps a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
which I don't really think nowadays, like forums have kind of been a thing of the past, to be honest. So there's not
Yeah,
yeah.
really a
So
Well,
whole
between
or a platform
forums
to
and
do it on it.
streamers, you got streamers who are playing one game for 8 hours a day
yeah,
in
yeah.
front of, 5 to 25,000 people, some including devs. Some of my favorite streamers have some devs in their
hmm
chats every now and then.
Right.
And I mean,
It's
they
just
go
a
through
great way
Twitter
to get.
too, but
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but it's coming a
Twitter's
thing
so
of the
toxic.
past. If you know
yeah.
what I mean.
Social media is toxic, dude.
You're right. Now, what's your guys' opinion on um the games like saying instead of you guys talking about alpha and beta, but what about like games like how Siege does it where there's a test server? What about bringing that to other games before
I
think
think
all
it'd be
games
great.
should have it.
DayZ has one of those on Xbox. Actually, they have a
Yeah,
testing environment
For what?
for
Daisy.
DayZ.
Daisy.
And
I think
Battlefield 4 has the test environment
I
too.
think
They
Now,
used to. I
PUBG
don't know if
also
it's
has it as
dead or not.
well.
Yes, PUBG
yeah.
has one as
So
well.
like about bringing that, maybe they think about bringing that into more games than just a couple. You know what I
That
mean?
should almost be a standard anymore.
It should,
Yeah,
Especially
but
it
it's
should be
not.
nowadays.
nowadays.
Especially
Nowadays
nowadays.
it should be a standard. It
Yeah.
almost has to be a standard.
If you want an A plus
Like
number
you shouldn't
one
launch a
game,
game
dude,
without some sort of
yeah.
test server.
And doing it the way
Yeah.
that all these games have done it, which is by through doing it the way through like having as a second application to run on your system. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because if somebody doesn't want to download it, they don't have to. I mean, Noble,
Yeah.
for instance, on the Siege test server, he has some issues with his computer doing it, so he just doesn't have it downloaded.
Yeah.
But
You
like
know.
it comes with the game when you buy it on
Exactly, it
PC,
comes
which
free.
Oh, that's
you know,
cool. See,
yeah,
that's
it comes
that right
free
there.
with it right there.
Yeah,
So like you could
that
install
right
it or
there is what needs to happen, people.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Listen, internet.
Yeah.
It needs to
who's
happen.
ever watching.
Pay attention now.
be
Take
honest.
notes.
That's a whole other thing. I think all multiplayer should be free to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
I think if
I
you
get
buy a
that.
game, you
I
buy the
mean-
campaign.
just like on PC, where that is a standard on PC, whereas to consoles, it's a hit and miss on certain games.
Yeah.
Well,
Well-
it all depends on how the development crew is gonna make their earn backs. You know what I mean? How
Right.
are they gonna get it back?
Well,
Like,
it's
Alright.
here's a prime example. Going to Modern Warfare, with Warzone making it free to play, I was looking something up about that, and they actually made their money back.
50
from
million players during its launch.
Yeah.
They had it. They made their money back from Black Ops 4 messing up so bad from not having it battle royale free, and when they did it, they said they had 85 million sold copies after so much time from making Warzone free.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
like
that-
that's like when Apex first hit, dude. It was free. All you had to buy was a battle pass, and
Yep.
the battle pass
And-
gave you cosmetics. And
Yeah.
granted,
Yeah.
some
Which,
weapon
and see,
cosmetics.
people hate loot
are-
boxes.
I don't mind them, dude, because especially with Apex, because you can earn your battle pass throughout the season if you save your
Yeah,
coins,
and
you
COD's
know,
the
your
same way.
Apex coins. Yeah, it
Yeah.
COD's the same way.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Now
some
it's
other
the
The
same
games-
cosmetic
way.
is okay if it's like
COD
Black
has a
Ops 4,
chain
for
now.
instance. Black Ops 4 wasn't like the battle pass and like the loot boxes gave you actual weapons. You can only get these certain guns through that loot box. And some of those guns were overpowered,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and so it was pay to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where
It's
it's
like if I
it's-
think as long as it's just cosmetics, we're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, it as long as the battle pass is free for those cosmetics, because if you're gonna pay for them, I mean, I don't think it's one of those things that I don't know if it's worth it to even
Well, some
do that.
cosmetics and then exclusive cosmetics. But
Yeah,
the problem with some cosmetics, like weapon skins, some weapon skins can be, what's the word? The term I want? Can make an advantage.
right.
Like there
Yeah,
are
that-
some
that
weapon
happens
skins
in
that
Siege.
the iron sights will be just the way they need to be, you know, and it's just from some random skin, you know.
Right.
Or in Call of Duty, where the higher camos if I can give you more damage. Or in the Diamond Charm, I think in Modern Warfare makes your gun do more damage too.
That's funny.
Oh, wow.
I think Damascus or whatever gives your gun like a point,
Yeah,
like a
I know
10%
what
more
you're talking
damage or
about,
some
that one,
shit.
yeah. I know what
Does
you're
it
talking about.
really?
Yeah, it's
Huh.
been,
Yeah.
that's like a staple in every Call of Duty though. And
Yeah.
Black
Attention.
Ops 1, it was gold camo made your gun
Yep.
do more damage, and I
Uh,
think Black Ops 4 Diamond done it.
Jory, don't look now, but I think you have a ponytail there, bud.
I grew a bing.
Kitty, that's just spike the views. Where's my cat?
I give you bing.
oh, Binky.
Pretty kitty. But yeah, I don't know. I
Oh,
guess
mine.
He's my best buddy. He's my best buddy, Bing.
That's like my dog.
The
Wherever
pain in
he's
my
at.
ass, man. He's always up my ass. But
all right, we're getting off
I
subject
love
here
him.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens.
Thank you, Bing.
That's all right. No big deal. I don't really care. It's just fun.
Continue.
But
What are
yeah.
you talking about again?
Good conversations, man. Good
We're talking about weapon
conversations
skins and
brings good
cosmetics of like
company.
battle passes and such.
Yeah.
But
Oh well.
Yeah, we led into a
yeah,
lot of
we-
different subjects.
Yeah, we really did.
That's all right.
it was kind of a circle though, because it's all the same games that we're talking about in the alpha and beta stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
okay.
He totally crashed out. Okay,
Oh,
that's
all
all.
Well, he's done talking about alphas. And betas, all right?
right.
So, Apex crossplay. What do you got to say about
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
Jordan?
so I was gonna say, I was gonna ask you about that. Like, well, I don't know anything really about Apex. I
Well,
haven't really gotten into it.
I I got season 3 was my season. I dominated season 3.
Did well for what you used to, probably.
Yeah, I'm trash. I'm trash. Don't believe anybody. I'm trash. No, dude. The cross-platform, man. Coming to Apex. I enjoy cross-platform
Hmm.
because I get to play with Simba here,
Right.
and other friends from like PS4 and stuff like that, and I love it. It's a good way to get a community together. And with Apex, hopefully, some good players come through from other consoles. Problem is, there's gonna be some toxic people, man. I
Is
know
that
Oh,
that.
coming up soon? In
You're
like
gonna get your
another
PC elitists coming in and
October 11th, I think.
October 11th? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask when that was gonna kind of coming up. For Apex
the 6th, actually.
6th.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's coming back.
I mean, technically it's going on right. Let's say technically it's going.
Oh, hey,
Oh, he
Robocop.
froze. He's completely
He's
frozen.
Bad luck, man.
Yeah, that's
God,
that's
dude.
gonna be on Origin, Xbox, and PS4. They're all gonna be cross compatible.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, man.
Yeah,
And
cause
the same day comes
that's neat.
one of the way Apex does like these limited time mode things, like a Dummy's
Mhm.
Big Day, and where, if I remember correctly, it was a while ago. Everybody was like a test dummy, and it went around. It was a royale, so everybody went out and killed each other. But they
Yeah.
got a new one coming up, Flashpoint. I'm totally waiting just for the update before I start looking at things. 'Cause I want to be surprised more than anything, just with the gameplay.
Mhm.
But that's what's coming
Yeah,
up, and they're both on the same day. So
yeah,
that,
the
Okay.
beta thing launches soon, but I think October 11th or October 15th, something like that, is when crossplay actually fully launches, like on the
okay.
Switch and everything. Like they're gonna launch the game on the Switch that same day
Oh,
and
really?
bring all platforms in. Yeah,
They didn't say
I
nothing
was
about
just
the
reading an
Switch.
article about it earlier
That
today.
that was PC Gamers what I was reading the article on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm not too familiar
I'll
with the game
download it on
either,
my
so.
Switch.
Yeah,
Speaking of crossplay,
Apex is fun.
I enjoy it, but the problem is you get so many toxic people that the second they get down, they're gone. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
have to
You get
you
that in
have
every
to have
game.
friends online, otherwise
yeah,
you're not gonna get dubs, dude.
Yeah.
And it
Exactly.
kind of
true.
soured me. Season When did Rampart
I
come
mean,
in?
that's
This
also
one
just in
just
general though
came.
too of playing battle royales with random people.
Playing games in general with random people.
Fair,
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair.
exactly. I had that issue
you get
earlier
100
playing
games until
Modern
you get
Warfare.
one good person, and then you get 2 games with that good person, and they bail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
it's very
mean,
hard to find people nowadays without the toxicity.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, your own teammates teabagging you until your death box drops, and it's like, well, I'm not toxic, so I'm gonna sit here and watch this toxic person. Well, my toxicity lowers. So,
yeah. Fair, fair.
but that's what I got from that.
Yeah. Like I said, I never really played Apex much.
Yeah, I think I'm about the only Apex player here.
I mean,
I played a
I've
little bit on console with one of Skillet and I cousins. It's
did
fun.
we?
Yeah,
I
I
I played
played
it
it
with
primarily on Xbox, but I have it on
Caleb.
PC.
Okay, I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't know. If, we
I
we
don't think
might
you
To
have.
be
played it.
honest,
I've just played it with Caleb type
it
thing.
really kind of reminds me of like Halo. Like I get that kind of Halo feel from it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I did too in a sense.
Hmm.
I mean, I get the same Halo vibe from Destiny as well. That's what's because
Well,
Well,
yeah, but
that's
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 Play
Bungie,
because of
so
Destiny.
yeah.
Yeah.
A little
I think
different.
you and the rest of the world get that feel on that game. Just
damn
I've never played
Activision
it, but
ruined Halo and called it Destiny.
I still remember.
yeah.
I still remember whenever Destiny got launched. I was looking at some of the.
Halo. Sorry.
I was looking at some of the artwork for it before the game actually got released. I'm thinking, like, there's one that has like a guy had a shield. I'm thinking, that looks like the Jackal shield. That looks like the plasma rifle. The fuck is going on
Right.
here?
Right.
I saw the one screenshot. It reminded me of Master Chief. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh wow, dude! I totally forgot about this thing. I found this the other day. Is a Halo 2 limited collector's edition.
Yeah, I got the
Okay.
same one. I got the
Dude,
same
this
one.
thing's pretty sweet, man.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna have to see if my old Xbox works.
If you
This
got a
thing's
360, it'll work in there
Cross-platform. I
too.
mean, it's
Yeah, I
backward.
say
It's back
it'll work
compat.
on 360.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean,
Got
It'll work on
different
your
language and
one
stuff.
too. It's backwards compat.
yep.
Oh.
Yep. You can just stick it in your one as long as you got, and when you put it in, it'll have a little small update for the backwards compatibility, but it's not much.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
you
they
can
did
play
a
Halo
lot of that.
too.
I learned something today.
Yeah. So actually, that's the thing about Xbox that I
That's why
like.
we're here. We're here to educate the viewers.
Educate and bullshit halfway our way through this
No,
podcast.
no. It's bullshit, and then educate. Educate through bullshit.
Having the PC crash midstream.
As it happens, man. Speaking of PCs,
You know, I get video editing software. What I can do is, I can put
just
something
just
in
just get a
post over
picture of your face over there all the time.
Yes.
Look,
Like-
make it look
like
make it look like the South Park Canadian characters. Just
Yeah.
fuck.
Listen, buddy. I
This
am not your
podcast went off the
guy.
rails already. That should be the name of the podcast. Off the rails.
Off Yep. I like that. I want votes.
But
Everybody
Blame
watch
Canada.
Okay, no. Now you don't sing too much of that. There's copyright infringement right there, dude. They won awards for that song, man. They won awards.
Oh,
Yeah.
they won a Grammy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
oh jeez. So
yeah, where were we?
who's excited for COD? The new COD game, Cold War.
Yeah, that looks pretty
Me.
fun.
Dude, have you seen the zombies trailer?
I
Oh
have
my
Yes.
god, it was so good.
That looks sick. It looks so good. Speaking of that,
Dude,
did
it
you
was
guys?
sexy as all hell, man.
Yeah, did you guys know it's gonna be all cross-platform and cross-gen consoles?
Progression.
Oh, really?
No, I'm talking about like so
Yeah.
when the new Xbox and PlayStation come out, it's if you
You'll
get
still
that,
be able to-
Oh,
you can
yeah,
still play with
cross-generation? Yeah.
yeah, you can still
That's
play
cool.
with Xbox
Different-
One or PlayStation 4 and PC all at the same time.
Which
That's
is gonna be
pretty
kind of cheap when you think about it, because of how like far ahead the new consoles are compared to this generation.
I mean, you're not wrong, but it's also nice for like the people that can't afford necessarily new consoles or don't want to, but they can
They
still
might
play
limit
those
it.
games.
They might limit the games on the new consoles to be comparable
Well,
with.
That's what people are worried about, so I hope they don't do
Yeah.
that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Because then
I
what's
can
the
see-
point of buying a brand new console?
I can see like within like the first year of making some games like on both consoles, and they kind of like
Oh,
just
they-
like slowly like faded out because for me I wouldn't mind buying the new Xbox on day one, but two at the same time I want to wait till all the big bugs get worked out with the system and everything, and
Yeah.
then look into buying it more.
I would have bought it day one had the website not crashed repeatedly, and I could actually have
yeah.
got it. You know,
What,
Yeah, we
like
talked
10
about
maybe
that
if I
last
would have
week.
had a couple bots, I probably would have got one.
Yeah, I was say it crashed in, like what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, something like that was ridiculous.
Crazy.
God,
The other
dude,
thing
that was
about, like,
dumbest
what,
shit in the world. I'm
Ghost was
still
saying-
salty as all hell about it.
I
Like
can't
what
tell.
Ghost was saying was
What's that
the
movie?
progression inside the game, where like how Warzone Modern Warfare do now with the multiplayer and the loadout. So instead of like zombies, old zombies, you always start off with a pistol. In this one, you're starting off with your own loadout, like you from like multiplayer or whatever. You get to choose your own
Oh, that's
loadout.
cool.
Or Warzone, and your
Or-
guns and all that levels
Yeah,
will be transferred
the
to the
exact
same. So if you
same,
play
yeah.
nothing but if you play nothing but zombies, you can reach max rank and then go hop in multiplayer and have all the unlocks.
That's pretty cool.
Which makes me wonder, since we're talking about how Prestige is gonna work, if they bring Prestige back. Like, can I just play zombies and keep Prestige in, or
I think they might do something like what they do right now with Modern Warfare, with how Modern Warfare you reach to that max level, and then when
Yeah,
the new
the seasonal
Battle
rank.
Pass, because they do have Battle Pass coming into Cold War, so they
Yeah.
might do something like that.
I don't know.
and
I
also
guess-
everything transfers over too. Like anything that you bought in Warzone, like any of your M4 blueprints or whatever, they will be there in Cold War's Warzone.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
really?
it's actually the
Yeah,
same.
'cause Cold
Like
War
they
is
announced
getting
it's gonna be
Warzone
it's gonna be the
5
same
zombie, yeah.
map. Yeah, it's like
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just gonna continue. Like it's still Verdansk and everything. It's just I'd assume that they'd have to do some kind of map change though, because Treyarch is known for having laser guns.
Mhm.
Their guns are always beams. There's hardly any recoil, and it's like you think of Verdansk now. You think of run
Yeah.
around with an M4 that can beam you as quickly as a sniper and kill you in 3 shots.
Oh yeah, dude. That's why when I found
That would be
Battlefield 4, I
broken.
fell in love with it, dude.
Did you guys know
Yeah.
that it actually wasn't Treyarch's even turn to release a new Call of Duty?
Yep.
Boom, knowledge bomb.
It was I
It was
want to say
Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer, but I
Yep,
could be
it
wrong.
was Sledgehammer with Ravensoft.
Yeah,
But they couldn't agree on how
but
Cold
they were
War
having
should be.
problems. Like the game was in a
Yeah.
horrible state.
Well, they couldn't.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
they
awesome.
couldn't agree on which direction to go on the game, and then um, Ravensoft went with Treyarch as a backup plan, setting up different ways, and Activision went with their idea, and instead of in 3 years, they did it in 2 years. So that's something different and new. We'll see how the actual game comes out with that.
Yeah, Sledgehammer apparently was having all kinds of problems with it, and
Yeah,
they had some of the campaign missions already built, and so they just like injected Treyarch's characters into it, and it was already set in Vietnam, so they just kind of ran with the Cold
that's
War era
yeah,
I think that they
and
just
made
need
a
to start.
direct sequel to one of their best games.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they just
Going
need
Um,
back
to
to
just need to remake
Cuba.
the Black Ops series.
Well, it's Miami, isn't it?
Just
well,
remake Black Ops 1 and 2, and I'll be fine.
I think what it was the whole idea with this, what Ravensoft was going with was instead of going into the future like the Black Ops series did,
Yeah,
it's kind of going back and filling in those gaps a little bit,
yeah,
or at least
makes
going
sense.
back
Makes
before
sense.
then.
It's in a sense, it's a reboot of the franchise.
Yeah,
Like
Fair.
it's a continuation. It's a continuation, but it's a reboot.
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I
It's
mean,
kind of like Halo Infinite.
Modern Warfare is kind of the same thing, though, too, really, wasn't it?
I
'Cause
haven't played the
Uh,
campaign, so I don't really know.
I don't either.
Modern Warfare was a reboot, but at the same time, if you played the other games, there was kind of like some suggestions that it was a prequel.
Okay.
Because at the end of the campaign, it shows him getting together Task Force 141,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
he starts naming off the people he wants. So he names off Soap, he names off
Okay,
Ghost.
in which it makes
You know,
sense
so it was
for,
kind of like in the same story, but
and it kind of makes sense with some of the characters that they actually brought, quote unquote, brought back that um, died or went missing in the later Modern Warfare series.
Like I said, I never really played the campaigns in Modern Warfare, so I'm not too
They're really
familiar
good
with.
campaigns.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're not bad.
okay. I think I did beat the Modern Warfare 3. I did. I don't. When it comes to Call of Duty, I don't play many of the campaigns. I just mostly play the
2 is the best.
multiplayer.
2 is my favorite
dude,
campaign.
2 is a good
Modern
one.
Warfare
Yeah, I've played with the Modern Warfare 2 as well. But anyway, go ahead.
Modern Warfare's campaigns are always amazing. I mean, Call of Duty campaigns in general are always amazing. They always have these over-the-top set pieces, these huge action scenes that makes you feel like a literal god.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about Black Ops 1 after the first year after it got released when I actually
Like a
bought the game.
badass action film movie that you get to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about
Shit that would
zombies.
never happen in real life.
Yeah. But I mean, then again,
And speaking of zombies,
go ahead.
there's a slight speculation I want to make.
Okay.
So when they showed the season 6 trailer for Warzone,
Yeah.
at the very end of it, showed like a 10-second teaser, right? And
Yeah.
it shows the sky being dark in Verdansk, and then you get the old school zombie laugh,
Hmm.
and
Oh,
then the
that's
trailer
great.
ends. Now, I would like to speculate for the fact that a YouTuber a few months back apparently was data mining and found a limited time game mode called Warzone Zombies. Every time he talks about in the video, Activision strikes the video and has it removed from YouTube.
Oh
So to
shit.
me, that would make me think that they're gonna make an entire because they have announced it will be a limited time game mode for this October event. I
Yeah,
think it's gonna
I
be
heard
Warzone
something.
Zombies.
Now, see,
How badass would that be?
that'd
That
be
would be pretty
cool.
sweet.
It just depends on how they go about it, because if you think of Black Ops 4 Battle Royale, they did have zombies in
Yeah,
there, and limited
blackout.
time come. Yeah, and Blackout, they had some zombies in there.
Yeah, and it's like certain parts of the map.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the old zombies maps like Asylum and
yeah,
stuff like that, Alcatraz and stuff.
yeah. How do you think?
And Nuketown too. There was zombies in Nuketown.
There was, yes, that's right.
On
I was
Oh,
Black
gonna
Ops.
that
say-
would be fun right there.
Sorry, I'm just trying to think of what else.
Um,
'Cause I never got much into zombies. I did try it
yeah,
before.
no, I tried to get you into there, and it just never went.
Well, okay,
I got into it big for about a year, and
I like Black Ops 2 zombies. I never really got into Black Ops 1 zombies. Like, I don't know.
Dude, Black Ops 1 was the best.
I
Black Ops
definitely
1
okay.
Zombies was
So
the best.
I love Black Ops 1 Zombies, and some of the Black Ops 2 maps, I'm like, eh. But when they kind of reverted back to, like, say, what was it, Origins, and what was the other one?
Origins was great.
I loved Origins on Black Ops 2 because it kind of went back to the old Black Ops 1 format, which was great.
Yeah, not the whole transit stuff.
I think, but
That was
which DLC was it? Oh, I can't think of which DLC it was. But the old Western one, I don't know if you guys know. Where
oh
they
yeah,
go
and
underneath the
yeah.
ground.
like the caverns.
The
Was
caverns.
it
That
Entombed
one,
or something like that?
I can't remember what it's
Excuse me.
called. But that DLC zombie map kind of started the transition going backwards to the old ones instead of what Black Ops 2 originally started with.
Well, because
Okay,
they had
good.
high hopes and they went, they
They
wanted
wanted to
to
go to
do
that
something
futuristic.
amazing, and
We'll go with Black Ops
Intrinsic
2.
was fun, but
It
I'm
it
I
was.
enjoyed
I'm the
it.
type.
Speaking of zombies, going back on Cold War,
Hi.
I heard something. I don't know if it's accurate. You guys might be able to qualify, but I thought I saw it in the zombies trailer about them all the zombie maps going to be for free and that you don't have to pay for them.
Yeah, all
That'd be
DLC is free.
cool.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what it is.
So
All
I think
DLC is free.
I think that's what's going to be really neat comparatively because in the past they've gone
Well,
with purchasing them.
I mean,
on,
let's be
I think
honest here, though.
everything.
I think Call of Duty makes most of their money through microtransactions anyway.
They do,
Nowadays, just
but like
I mean,
if you think about it, back when Black Ops 1 came out, they made each DLC separate, and there wasn't a season pass like there was on Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 4.
yeah, and we'll see that that's where like to a lot of people like for me, for instance, back in my Black Ops 2 days, I can never afford any of the map packs
Mm-hmm.
because they're $15. I was out of
Yeah.
a job. I
20
didn't.
bucks, yeah.
I used to do
I-
the download trick all the time with my buddy Kyle, and that's how I got him.
I know which one you're
I
talking
remember
about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But I think it's kind of nice that they're making them all free, just because there's some people that can't afford them all the time either.
Well,
And
that's
it also doesn't divide the player base either. That was the big thing, was they
Yeah.
would release map packs and make them required to play the game. So
Yeah.
then you force people either to buy the maps or play one game mode,
yeah, that's what they did in Black
or
Ops
stop
2.
playing in total.
If I do recall,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because I know
Oh,
there's
It
several
is
times
so
in Black
long
Ops
since I
2.
played them games.
yeah.
Well, I know in Black Ops 2, I remember this very very vividly. He was doing so say for instance, I had some of the map packs, but
But you didn't have all of them.
there's one map I know I didn't have, which was Dig. Was the map was called Dig, and we're all choosing play what Matt play next. Everybody chooses Dig. I can't play it. It'll kick me out.
Which
Yeah.
I never understood why
And
they
then-
didn't just.
And then so I gotta wait for either for my friends either to back out or for them to finish that game.
Yeah, that's
So,
one thing I didn't
that's-
like about that.
I said it divides the population, and that's just not
Yeah.
something you want to do.
Exactly.
Makes you not want to play the game.
Yeah,
I mean, it
does,
didn't really
it
drive.
does.
For me, it didn't drive me away. It just kind of made me mad because I couldn't afford the map packs. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it really wasn't missing much. Let's be honest here. I think
Yeah.
some of the original
some
maps
of those
on
maps,
Black Ops
but,
2,
I mean,
some of the map packs weren't the greatest. There was some from the map packs that
No.
were pretty good, but I mean, some of the
You
base
know-
maps that came with that game were just good.
Speaking of map packs and stuff, like something that annoys a lot of people is remakes. I
That
love
doesn't
it
annoy me.
personally.
I get both sides of it
I do
because it's
too.
like let's go with Nuketown specifically on from Black
It's
Ops 1
been
to
in
Black
every
Ops
one.
2 and Black
Yeah.
Ops 4.
And 3. It was in 3 too.
Yeah, see, I didn't get in 3, so I don't really know much
Yeah,
about 3.
Well, yeah, because not a lot of people like 3.
Yeah,
I didn't like any of the jetpacks. To
I
be honest.
think
I played them, but I didn't like any of them.
I think that some maps should just be left alone, and some
Yeah.
maps are allowed to get they should be reworked. Nuketown is one of those maps that I feel like as soon as it did get reworked, it just got overplayed and it made it to where it wasn't special anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
type of thing.
See, a lot of people bitch about that. They're like, I'm gonna pay $15 to get maps that I already played a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that
but
Waste
here's
of
the thing
money.
though, they're good maps. Like
And
I would rather spend $60 on the same maps I played 10 years ago with a better graphics engine than I would to pay $60 on maps that suck.
and I get that completely. That standpoint of it.
I mean, take Halo 5 for example. Halo 5 had I think maybe a total of 4 good maps throughout its entire lifespan, and one of them was a remake.
yeah,
Right.
I don't know, like, to me, some of the remakes that come out,
It's
they
like,
do
I'd
come
rather
out.
play those.
Some of the remakes that do come out are pretty decent. Like, well, that's one thing I like about what they've done with Modern Warfare. Or some of the maps that remade in that, like Hard Hat, for instance, it's almost a one-to-one
I think it
scale.
is exactly the same from.
So
It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Crash and
it's just
Bacon are the only ones they
It's just
changed.
upper graphics, I
yeah,
think, if I'm not
it's up the
mistaken.
graphics. I mean, that's an amazing in its own feature. Just having the map, same exact map, but just better graphics, and it's like, and fix some of the bugs that were on the map because let's be honest, there were some bugs
Yeah.
in some of those maps that
Yeah, like where
people took
they're
advantage of,
not there anymore.
highly took advantage of. But
Yeah, I'll tell you one game I'd like to get
Never took
reworked.
advantage of any map
Oh,
or
shut
anything
up.
like that. I promise.
Don't
Oh
even.
yeah,
Okay,
sure.
you're the holy gamer. Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you
Okay.
one game I'd really like to
I
see
won
reworked, and
fair
that's
and square
Underground
every
2.
time.
Oh yeah.
I want that game remade so bad.
No, we did not, Tim.
What game?
What do you mean
That's a
exactly by
hurt.
that, bud?
You
Sorry, my buddy Tim's in chat. Said, did you guys cover what you do if you guys ever get tired of a map? And we have not, so
What do we do when we get
What-
tired of
what-
a map?
I'm not sure what he means exactly by. You can switch maps and you go through the rest of the zombies, and then if you survive, then a Healy comes and gets you, and you can switch maps but still
Oh.
keep everything.
Oh
you earned
yeah,
from-
you
How
don't have
about
to
the
quit
zombie
after or
maps
lose
where-
anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
They're actually gonna have they're gonna have an extra system for the game, like an actual ending of the game essentially now instead of you just dying.
Kind of like
that's
if you go back to what was it, Call of Duty Ghost on Extinction had that feature. If I don't know if you guys ever played that.
I never
Um,
did. No.
I
It
never
was a
played
different.
Ghost.
It was a different adaptation.
I know
to zombies.
it was aliens. I know that, but I never
alien
played Ghost.
dropping down, and it was like aliens dropping down basically, and you go through this section by section, completing it, and at the end, if you destroy whatever, you actually complete the game. That's the same feature that they're bringing into zombies. The only difference in the new zombie game, they're doing it to where once you do call in the heli, they up the zombies.
Bring on the
What is it,
horde.
level, like harder,
Yeah, I think they
zombies
said what
and hordes.
like 3 times or something like that, like triple the difficulty, and you have
Yeah,
to
it's
survive like
triple
two,
for
and
like
you have
what,
to survive a couple different waves like that before the helicopter actually comes to get you.
3 or 4 waves, something like that.
What's the game that did that? What was that? Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead,
Isn't that game?
Yeah, yeah.
kind of.
In a
Also,
sense,
you have to fight
except
the
for
last horde.
There's also
yeah,
like the double tanks at the end or whatever while you
Yeah,
wait for the
yeah.
rescue. Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be a little harder than that, basically, but it's same concept in essence. So I think
And
that's gonna be really neat.
to me,
And
it makes
also-
sense to do it that way though too. Because
I'm really curious how the zombies are gonna be because the way they talked about in the trailer and the way they showed it, it looked like it's set in Kino de Toten, I think, the original the original World at War map.
Knockdown Totem.
And
Yeah, that's what it is.
yeah, not down Toten, that's it. So it's set there, and the way it kind of played out, and with the way they my understanding of the way they talked and everything, is that it's gonna be different sections around that map. Like you'll be able to explore. It's gonna be like that will be the center of it, kind of like Verdansk is, like how you have all these other multiplayer maps inside of it. I think
Yeah.
that's how the zombies are
that'd
gonna
be
be.
cool.
So
You're gonna
yeah,
have
they said something about that. But looking off the trailer only, speculation
yeah.
here. That it's taking that map and upgrading that map. It's a rework of that map basically, and there's gonna be different sections broken down, and as well as the surrounding area of that map that you couldn't go into on the World of War map are actually gonna be open to explore. So it kind of makes it a little bit bigger, almost like that transit a little bit, but
Yeah, and
not
they said you'll be
so
able to
far
explore
out.
new areas and
That's pretty
kind of
cool.
play new ways and
That is,
everything. So
yeah.
I think it's gonna be like a massive kind of open world zombies in a sense.
Yeah,
That would
and
be sweet right there.
as well as they're also bringing in some of the old perks, whereas some of the older
Jug,
zombies.
Speed Cola.
Yeah.
I heard
Um,
about that.
but
I'm
they
excited for
those
that.
Oh
kind of got
man.
lost in like say Black Ops 3, for instance, or Black Ops
Well,
4.
wasn't it Black Ops 4 that had the bubblegum machine, whatever?
That was Black Ops
Like,
3.
Yep.
it was Black Ops
Or
3.
3 had it, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
3 had it.
that's how you do your perks. I'm like,
Mhm.
it's like
Or
when I
4.
first played 3 on the zombie side, I'm like, the fuck am I doing with this bubblegum shit?
Yeah,
You know,
where
I'm
4
used to.
did it.
I like the colas, man. The colas were
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, the
'Cause
colas.
you can
Yeah.
get physical cola. Do like the people who had the full sized coolers and stuff with the
yeah.
actual jugger
Yeah,
Yeah.
where
Juggernaut
you gotta
coolers
get
and
the
stuff.
money to go
Yeah.
buy the actual
Yeah,
perk. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the
yeah,
way it
it's
should be.
amazing.
So
Yeah.
speculation on that. Then, do you think they're gonna put into like what they did on Black Ops 1 zombies and certain Black Ops 2 maps, for zombies, where that you can get all max perks or just set at that certain limit of perks? You know what I'm talking about?
So
Hmm.
So
where you can get like every perk or just only a certain
yeah,
amount?
so Black Ops 2
Okay.
did that with Tombstone, where you could
Yeah,
buy
yeah,
every
that's
perk
what it
and then
was.
get your Tombstone back, and it gives you the previous perks. In
Yeah.
Black Ops 1, on certain maps like Ascension, you would have to defeat these monkeys without the monkeys, space monkeys, touching the machines, and you get a free perk that way. Black Ops 3, I'm pretty sure, did it with the gumballs. I'm not 100% sure on that one at all.
Yeah,
So
I
do you
never
think
played
they're
much
gonna
of
bring
it.
in a feature like that? Because it didn't really show it in the trailer that I saw.
I like
I
the
don't know.
fact that you can go back and get your tombstone and get your perks that you've already bought.
And your
If
weapons,
Yeah.
by the way.
as long as you've got that perk.
Infinite Warfare done that too on their
Yeah.
zombies.
Infinite
I didn't play
Warfare
Infinite
had
Warfare. I
zombies.
played Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, Infinite
Yeah.
Warfare has zombies. Dude, actually, Warfare zombies was probably my favorite zombies out of the most recent games.
I
Like
liked
it
Advanced
went because
Warfare.
it wasn't like wasn't no wall running, wasn't no like zero gravity. You
Yeah.
were in a or in a music park, and so each section with its own thing. So like you had zombies in space, which was a section of the theme park, and so you actually got on the roller coaster and shot these little target things, a little like fake laser gun, and it gave you something at the end of it while zombies were chasing you on the roller coaster. Like I said, it was really fun. It was really grounded again, like they used to be.
Hmm.
The only
Yeah.
thing was you could have God, what's the guy from Baywatch? He's like famous in Germany.
Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff. Yeah, you could actually do an Easter egg because he's in that game as a DJ, and you could do an Easter egg, and David Hasselhoff would actually run around the map with you shooting zombies. He's like your little AI companion.
Speaking
You'll
of
never
That's
drown.
speaking of Easter eggs, um, do you think that they will make the Easter eggs if they were to have them in zombies? Because they almost have them in every single zombies.
They will, because they said it.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, my thing is, do you think they're gonna make it to where it's gonna be like how the old ones were, where you have to have 4 people in order to do it, or like some of the other ones that you could do it solo or 2-player?
some of those Easter eggs for the Call of Duty games are so complex.
Yeah.
No, on zombies they almost all are.
My opinion is probably gonna be different than most of your guys's, but I think it needs to stick to 4 players. I think you
Yeah.
should have to go
Okay.
No,
with a
I
party to
agree.
do it.
I
Well,
agree.
my thing about that is certain maps um require 4 players because it makes sense because there's different characters, but so to speak, like other maps, like on Black Ops, what was it? Cole or the director's one? I don't know which one it is. Is that Call of the or the Cold? I don't remember. You know which one I'm talking about? The Frozen Island, the Frozen
Oh,
ship
Call the
one?
Dead.
Call of the Dead. Like that one, you could do it
Yeah,
with
that one.
a single or more. Black Ops 2 did it on Origin, so you could do it single. It just takes a long time.
Yeah.
See,
Um,
that's cool. To where if as long as you can do it by yourself, like what if you
but it
have no
takes
friends
longer.
and you want to check this shit out? You know?
Yeah. See, that's
Yeah,
my
and
thing.
see,
It's like
I understand that, but at the same time, I feel like it adds more when you have to get in there with a group effort and do it.
it does, but like for me, um, when I was playing back in the day on Black Ops, I didn't necessarily have friends on all the time or have internet at that time
Yeah.
to play with friends to do it.
Yeah.
And with Xbox at that time, only being co-op as 2-player split screen, it didn't really work all that well.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
them days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
'Cause
Same.
I'm a solo gamer. I've always
Yeah,
played the
and
solo games
I
like
feel like
Fallout 4 and
I feel like
stuff like that.
that is some people when they're wanting to play zombies, and then that's just
Yeah.
my
There's
thing
gotta
on
be
that.
something
So
for
I'm
every
like,
type of gamer there.
yeah, that's why I think they were trying to go
In
on
some
certain
form,
of those
I mean,
maps, but I don't know
yeah.
if they're gonna transition keep that or if they're gonna go just the 4 player since it's all cross platform
Like
as well.
like Battlefield 4 had a really cool Easter egg in it. Oh my goodness, why can I not remember the name of the map? But it had a map to where there you look out in the mountains, and if you had like a rocket launcher, you look out in the mountains, see a little glint of light. You shoot it with a rocket, and it kills a yeti and screams. Yeah, it's really wild.
That's funny.
Halo
wish
5
I
had
could.
one too on the map rig. If you ground pounded those little platforms
Oh
right below where
yeah.
the camo was, and then you shoot these random like fusion cores that would pop up. Out in the distance, you seen a second rig, and this like graboid thing would come out of the ground and snatch it and
Yep.
bring
What?
it back into the
Yep.
ground.
That's so
I
That's
remember
like
that one.
the
cool.
Speaking of which, the new Easter egg. A little spoiler alert here.
With
Um,
the monkey?
yeah, the teddy bear.
Yeah,
Actually, a
dude,
teddy
teddy
bear.
bear, teddy bear.
Because
I
Yeah.
see
it's
Some of the
clappy
reference to
monkeys because
zombies.
of zombies. I see
Yep,
little clappy
that's exactly
monkeys.
what it's referenced to on the station.
I was telling Daniel that one day at work, and he's like, "No."
We actually did
Yeah,
it.
dude.
Skillet
Yeah,
and I did it with
I
a
want to
few of
do
our other
it. I was
friends.
supposed to do it today, and I didn't get around to doing it. But it's on a multiplayer map. I think it's on like a
You
gunfight
can
map
do it in
station or
custom.
something like that.
You can
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
it in
you can do it in
games.
custom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
I saw that one
we did it
morning, and I
earlier.
was telling
yeah, we
It's
did
Daniel
it
a,
about it.
yesterday.
and see, that's just a further nod to zombies. So it's like I really think that new game mode is
Yeah.
gonna be
Oh, yeah.
Warzone Zombies.
Well,
Yeah,
There might be some more stuff that
start
we don't even
start talking about
haven't
weird
even
Easter
found yet.
eggs.
no.
Start talking about weird Easter eggs in Call of Duty right now. I got one for you. The one that was on. It's on Cheshire Park, on one of the new maps that came out last season. I think it was. There's
Yeah, last
Last
season.
season, yeah.
there's mouse traps hidden on the map. You gotta find. You gotta. They spawn.
Oh, oh yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
when
that.
you destroy one, then the next one spawns. So you gotta find them all. And when you find
Okay.
5 of them, there's a little piece of a wedge of cheese will spawn after you shoot the 5th one. Once you pick up the wedge of cheese, then you gotta go find the rest of the wheel of cheese, and you break the wheel of cheese, bring it to the middle of the map where that statue is, and then place it on the edge there, and a bunch of mice come out and start doing a little dance around the statue, and then they all explode in pretty colors.
Well, that's
And
cool.
and what it is, it's actually a reference to an old tale. Fuck, what was his name? The statue in the middle of the map is dedicated to as like an old like fable tale.
A Russian.
No, it
Like
was
a Russian.
what was that? I can't remember the name of it, but
Isn't Cheshire Park in Russia or something like that?
yeah, it's an old
He's
tell-
going to El Goog. He's
Going to
gonna
El
El
Goog.
He's googling it.
I'm googling, man.
Ain't nothing wrong
He's
with
jujuling it.
No, man. There's a
I
show
don't know if
called
everybody got that reference, but
Oh, it was
Joe.
it's about the Pied Piper.
Oh, yeah.
Pied Piper.
Yeah, it's who it's referencing in the Easter egg because the statue in the middle is the Pied Piper.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So that's what it's referencing to. And there's another one on Farmland, one of the new gunfight maps from last season as well. There's
Stock. Whatever.
no Farmland. Oh yeah, livestock. You're right.
Livestock,
Yeah. Where you gotta, I forgot. I've never done this one yet, but I've seen it on TikTok. You gotta go around shooting these things in like the cages and like around the map, and then a freaking satanic symbol pops in the middle of the barn, and there's a goat comes out of
Oh.
nowhere. I've been wanting to do this one, but see, there's a reference to that one in the previous one of the previous updates on Tunnel, I think it is, or not Tunnel, but trenches. If you look off in the
Trench.
distance, there's a guy that's got on free cam went out in the trenches went out in the distance, and one of the buildings on the structures, there's a model of a goat out in one of the structures out off in the distance.